Can you hear it? At a young age, I was about 9 years old, and I just went into the kitchen one day and I wanted to bake cookies. And they turned out great. And from there, I just continued to bake things, cookies and cakes and muffins and scones, and some people have a knack for painting. I have a knack for baking. Somewhere along the way, somebody said, "Mom, an apple pie." I think it was, in World War II. I think when soldiers went off, and they would say something like, "For Mom, an apple pie," and we seem to revere it in some way of signifying that this is home, something that we're longing for. I think what you usually hear from people is when you say, "What is your favorite pie?" And they'll say, "Oh, cherry, or blueberry, or rhubarb." And then you say, "Well, what about apple?" They say, "Oh, after apple, then I like cherry." By everybody that they like the apple pie. And then they'll have another favorite that they like more. There was a teacher. One day he said to me, "Kate, you are a teacher." And I didn't know what he meant. At a certain point, I started to teach music, and I found out that I absolutely loved it. And he was right. I was a teacher. I started to teach people to bake pie because they were asking me, "How do you make this pie?" So I just said, "Well, come on over and I'll show you." And it was a natural outpouring of, if you can teach one thing, I think you can teach anything. Each pie that we make in class is the outpouring of someone's heart, and it's perfect. It's them. It's what they put into it. So if they have a pie that has a little crack here, or it's perfect, or it's a little brown there, it's like their life. It's perfect. I don't compare the pies because you can't. They're all unique. I'm teaching. I have people feel every step of the way with the dough, shaping it, how wet it is, how dry it is, what it feels like when you're mushing it through your fingers. They watch my hands, and I have them come right over and feel my dough, and then they make theirs, and I feel their dough with them, and they then gain confidence that it feels like hers. It doesn't. They don't have to look at a recipe. All they have to do is remember what it feels like. So the pie is making two different sounds. It's making a high sizzle sound because of all the fat that's in the crust. And then deep inside of it, it's making a whoomp, a deep whoomp. It's almost like a heartbeat sound. And when I hear that sound, I know that the pie is done. When I see the pies coming out of the oven and they look really pretty, and it just makes me happy. I guess I kind of think of it as like, this is what's on the inside of me, I cannot eat my pies. I am both gluten and dairy free, and I cannot eat anything that I bake. It doesn't matter whether I cannot eat this or not, because I can listen to it, I can see it, I can smell it, I can touch it. In the course of all of this, the only sense that I am not having is the sense of taste of it, but I sure as heck have the sense of enjoyment.